All right. Good morning, everyone. Happy 4th of July. I'm once again, I'm John. I'm gonna do another run of doing Immaculate Grid. Once again, chasing that ultra low rarity score. I've decided that if you get less than nine, so 1% per player, that would be considered the equivalent to hitting 400. At least that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. I'm gonna start sharing here. So we're here doing the Immaculate Grid. There we go. Okay, this is good. See, I'm a Brewers fan, so I should be able to do all right with the Brewers. Brewers, Marlins, Red Sox, Twins, All-Star, presumably with the team in question. And then let's see here, 40 save season pitching. Um, let's see. Good 90s player here. I got Troy O'Leary. Played for both teams. Yeah, 0.2%. That's what I'm going for. Let's see. Brewers and Twins, right off the bat, what I'm thinking is there was a trade in like 20, I guess it would before the 2010 season, I think. Brewers got Carlos Gomez in exchange for JJ Hardy. Um, so I think that will probably be pretty popular though. So I might come back to that, but I think of those, I think I'll go with Hardy because he was only in Minnesota for a year and then he went over to Baltimore. Gomez was kind of a fixture with the Brewers. Let's see, looking around Miami and Boston here. So Hanley Ramirez, he was actually traded by the Red Sox for Josh Beckett and Mike Lowell. So any of those three people would work because then Hanley Ramirez came back later to play for the Red Sox. I think the most obscure of those would probably be Mike Lowell. Let's go ahead and put that in. See how that does. 17%. That's not great. I should have I might have been able to think a little harder on that one. Let's keep playing. I'm gonna go with for this one. This is a very niche piece of knowledge, but I happen to know. Ooh, this is gonna be tricky. So the answer that I'm gonna go with is Alex Gonzalez, but I have to make sure I pick the right one. All right, so this would be this Alex Gonzalez. This is the one that this guy played for the Blue Jays for most of the 90s. He was on that Cubs team. Made an error in that um game 6 collapse against the Marlins. This is the Alex Gonzalez that I want though. He was the representative for Backyard Baseball 2001 from the Marlins and he was an All-Star that year. Let's see how that does. Not a lot of people playing Backyard Baseball 2001. All right. Twins and Marlins. Luis Castillo played for both teams. I wonder how popular that is. Not that Luis Castillo, the second baseman. 4%. All right. I'm just gonna say because we don't have all day for me to think of people. Oh, you know what? I just thought of a better one. Larry Heisler played in the 1970s. He I think led the league in RBI one year with the Twins and then came to the Brewers, and he was one of our first like when I say we the Brewers, because I'm a fan, but he was one of the Brewers' first great starters. I wasn't born yet, but I know he's a person who existed. That's probably better than Hardy or Gomez would have gotten. So that was a good pick. All right, Brewers All-Star. So we've had some every team has to have an All-Star. From my youth, just thinking, I think we've had Jeff Cirillo, Fernando Vina, Burnitz was an All-Star, Dave Nilsson was an All-Star. 2000 season. I think that was Bob Wickman. That's pretty obscure. I'm gonna lock in Bob Wickman here. Even got into the game. Ooh, that's a nice percentage. That's a nice percentage. I wouldn't get that if I wasn't a Brewers fan, but every fan likes to see their team represented in the All-Star game. All right, 40 saves for the Twins. 40 saves just doesn't stick the way other statistics do. Like I can think of some good closers who've been with the Twins. Jeff Reardon in the 80s, Rick Aguilera in the 90s. Um, Joe Nathan definitely even with Joe Nathan, I'm thinking like he probably got 40 saves. That's probably an obvious pick there. I'm actually gonna go with his predecessor. I'm gonna go with everyday Eddie Guardado. Lock it in. Okay, a lot of people want Eddie. 8%. It's all right though. Now 40 saves for Boston. I think I've got a pretty good one, and this one I'm actually very confident in. So, everyone remembers Derek Lowe as a starter. He was a starter on that '04 team. He had a huge year in '02, I think it was. And he established prominence later on with Dodgers, but he started as closer and did notch a 40 save season. And that was in, I think it was 2000 because he was like a Cy Young contender in 2002. So let's see how that does. 2%. All right. And now we just need a 40 plus save season from an all-star. This should be pretty safe. Um, see, you go Francisco Rodriguez, all-time save leader. Bobby Thigpen is the guy he beat. Eric Gagne, John Smoltz. These are just guys who've had over 50 saves. Have to make sure we get it in an all-star season. Eckersley is probably a safe bet. I'll bet Dan Quisenberry would work. In fact, Dan Quisenberry might be just because he's a little older. I know he had at least I knew he had over 40 saves. It's one of those years. I think a lot of people are going to say Trevor Hoffman. That would be a good pick. Um, I'm leaning Quisenberry. Let's put him in. If he like didn't do it that one year. All right. So rarity score of 33 here. Um, which it's better than yesterday. Looks like my biggest miss here was not miss, but a lot of people thought of Michael Lowell. So maybe there was a better example I would have gone with. I think Hanley Ramirez probably got a good line share here. Josh Beckett probably got a fair amount. Let's see how the stats are doing. It's about 9:30 by the way on the East Coast, just as a gauge here. So you can click here. I didn't show this yesterday, but you can click here. So 72,000. I think that's a decent like sample size so far. A lot of people will play right after midnight. Let's see. The one people struggled most with is identifying a Brewer player who played for the Twins. Yeah, I think the Gomez Hardy trade is one of a more recent example. That probably got a lot of these. Let's see down here. A lot of people were able to get all stars though. Oh, Molitor. Duh. I mean, it was right that I didn't pick him, but it didn't even occur to me to even mention Molitor. But yeah, he from the Minneapolis St. Paul area, obviously played most of his career with the Brewers. Played his last 3 years, got his 3,000th hit, and retired with the Twins and came back as their manager. Um, yeah, most people saying I didn't even say Rivera. That was dumb, but yeah, Rivera there. A lot of people going Joe Nathan with the Twins, 84%. So my instinct was right to go with his predecessor there, assuming I am chasing the rarity score. Josh Beckett got more than Hanley Ramirez. That's kind of surprising. Hanley was prominent with both teams, so was Beckett. But all right, cool. Luis is I obviously that was gonna be a big pick, and I didn't even mention him. But yeah, chasing 400 this year. Anyway, this was This was fun. I'm gonna try to keep doing this, even if no one's watching. And if you are, thanks for tuning in. Uh, appreciate appreciate your time here.